Are you ready for a tax on unrealized capital gains? Do you even know what that is? Do you care? Should you care? Those are some of the things we're going to talk about in today's video. If you are new to the channel, my name is Brian Fitzpatrick. I'm a realtor with Lamacchia Realty here in the Boston market. If you do enjoy this type of content, make sure that you smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button to be notified of additional videos. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, this is an article from SWFI, which stands for the Sovereign Wealth Fund Institute. This is, as you imagine, highly biased, but it's all over the news everywhere you turn. So again, this is just one of the articles that talks about it. So U.S. President Biden unveils unrealized capital gains tax for billionaires. As U.S. Secretary Janet Yellen has been discussing in various media, the Biden administration is now revealing an unrealized capital gains tax from stocks and bonds. The plan will be included in the Democrats' $2 trillion reconciliation bill. The new, quote, billionaire income tax is being written by Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, with input from the U.S. Treasury Department and the White House. The new unrealized capital gains tax would levy annual taxes on assets while they still have not been sold. What? So you're going to pay taxes on some random number that someone comes up with? This is insanity, but let's keep reading. The impacted assets include stocks, bonds, real estate, which is what we cover here in this channel, and art. Oh my God, art. What's that going to look like? The tax would apply to people who make more than $100 million a year for 3 years in a row, or if one makes $1 billion in annual income. The people impacted by the tax would be able to take a deduction if their assets plunge in value. Plunge in value, according to who? I mean, so many of these things, I mean, I guess there's certain things like obviously stocks and bonds, you know what the value is because they're publicly traded, but the value of real estate, how do you figure that out? The value of art? How are you going to figure that out? That is insane. There's just, you know, those are all going to be estimations. You know, I think it's worth $1 million. No, it's somebody else comes along and says it's worth $2 million. But then you go to sell it and it's worth $500,000. This makes absolutely no sense. Yellen on the CNN.TV show called the State of the Union Today said it's not a wealth tax, but a tax on unrealized capital gains of exceptionally wealthy individuals. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, but let's just start with the general concept of unrealized gains. So basically, an unrealized gain is something that has gone up in value, but because you haven't sold it yet, you haven't realized the gains. So as it pertains to real estate, if you purchased your home, say 5 years ago, and it's gone up $100,000 in value, according to this, you would then be paying a tax on an annual basis based off of whatever that appreciation was during that 1 year. So let's say it was $20,000 a year. You paid additional tax on $20,000. Now, this is talking about, this is a billionaire tax. The reality is, when you look at the tax code, it always starts out that way. It always goes after the high earners, the people who are really at the top of this. But what quickly happens is that the ultra wealthy figure out a way to work around the system, right? So they will hide assets, they will ship things, they'll put stuff in the other assets that are loophole that can get around this type of taxation. And what ends up happening is they start dropping down that threshold. So, this year it says $100 million a year for 3 years in a row for income. Following year, it could be $50 million. Next thing you know, it's $5 million. Next thing you know, it's $1 million. Then $500,000, then $50,000. So this is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea on so many levels. And I really think what this is born out of is the fact that they're trying to pass this bill, the spending bill. Let's say it's $2 trillion. I think it's gone down since then. This is a couple days old, but let's say it's $2 trillion that they're trying to pass. And they were just like grasping for straws. They're like, what can we possibly grab that, would maybe pay for it? But the reality is it's a promise that they're going to pay for it, but the likelihood of this ever happening is very, very, very slim. So you pass a $2 trillion bill, and then lo and behold, the taxes that you were expected to collect to pay for that $2 trillion bill does not materialize. So what ends up happening there? You either have to borrow to make up the difference, or you tax the rest of the society, the rest of the wage earners. So what do you think about the unrealized capital gains tax? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? From my perspective, the IRS has a difficult time already just trying to collect what's due to them. So to add another layer of complexity like this on top of that is just a recipe for disaster and further shenanigans at the top. So I don't know. I don't see this actually happening, but it'd be interesting to see what you think. What do you think of it? Make sure that you leave a comment below. And again, if you do enjoy videos like this, make sure that you smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button to be notified of additional videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.